One of the defining characteristics of the Homo sapien is the size and complexity of our brains. Unfortunately, with that complexity comes disorders that are very hard to treat, as it is difficult to find simple solutions to complex issues. One of the most common mental disorders in the world is major depressive disorder, as more than 7% of the adults in the United States suffer from it. Prozac is the 23rd most prescribed drug in the United States, and it has been approved by the FDA to treat depression, obsessive-compulsive disorder, and even bulimia. Prozac, or Fluoxetine, belongs to a family of drugs called serotonin reuptake inhibitors, and was first synthesized way back in 1974. In the 1960s, one study found that on average, the serotonin levels in the brains of suicide victims was substantially lower than that of the average healthy adult. After that correlation was made, a series of drugs were produced with the goal of preventing the brain from reabsorbing serotonin and decreasing the concentration of serotonin in the brain. This effect is where the name serotonin reuptake inhibitor, or SSRI for short, comes from. More than 13% of the adult population of the United States is currently taking some form of antidepressant, the vast majority of these being SSRIs. With this family of drugs being so ubiquitous, it's important to know where these drugs came from, what kind of variety exists between SSRIs, and how they function in the brain and body. To go further in depth, I'll let my groupmates explain more.
Serotonin, or 5-hydroxytryptamine, is a neurotransmitter that is found in our brains. While it is most commonly known as a mood stabilizer that enables us to experience happiness, it also controls many other brain functions, such as sleep, motor skills, and body temperature. Serotonin is produced in the terminal axon of the serotonergic neuron and derived from the amino acid tryptophan. Synthesis of serotonin begins with the addition of a hydroxyl group at the C5 carbon catalyzed by the TPH enzyme, resulting in the production of 5-hydroxytryptophan. This is then followed by a decarboxylation at the carbonyl carbon catalyzed by the DDC enzyme, yielding 5-hydroxytryptamine, what we commonly refer to as serotonin. When serotonin is no longer needed in the brain, it is reabsorbed into the neuron from the synaptic cleft in a process called serotonin reuptake. Reuptake is conducted by an integral membrane protein called SERT, or solute carrier family 6, member 4. It is believed that in certain individuals, serotonin is reabsorbed before it is able to fully transmit a signal, leading to serotonin deficiency. SSRIs fight against this by inhibiting the SERT protein, allowing for serotonin to continue being transmitted within the brain. While it is believed that SSRIs function in this proposed general pathway, there is yet to be conclusive evidence on how these drugs specifically block the function of the SERT protein. Past studies have provided some evidence that has given researchers a better idea of how SSRIs work. In 2016, scientists John Coleman, Evan Green, and Eric Gawaks successfully imaged the structure of the SERT protein in the presence of the SSRI drugs paroxetine and escitalopram using X-ray crystallography. The image shows the SSRIs binding to the protein at either the active or allosteric sites. This binding may be an explanation to how SSRI drugs prevent the protein from being able to properly function. With continued research, scientists may soon be able to solve the mystery surrounding the exact mechanism of action for SSRIs. This discovery will allow for better, more targeted treatments for patients of depression and mental illness.
SSRIs can treat more than just major depressive disorder. The FDA has approved the use of SSRIs in treating premenstrual dysphoric disorder, panic disorders, obsessive-compulsive disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, social anxiety disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, and mild to moderate bulimia nervosa. There are 6 different types of SSRIs, and we'll take a better look at each one. The first one is fluoxetine. This drug was FDA approved December 29, 1987. Some of the common brand names are Prozac or Fluoxetine. This is thought to be the first SSRI marketed to the general public. It is also the least selective inhibitor of the SSRIs. Sertraline was approved December 30, 1991. It is commonly known under the brand name Zoloft. It is the second most potent inhibitor of the SSRIs. Prozac became FDA approved in December of 1992. It was branded under names such as Paxetine and Seroxate. This specific SSRI has the most potent 5-HT reuptake blocker and muscarinic receptors. Fluvoxamine, also known under the name Lurox, was approved December 5, 1994. This SSRI is chemically unique from the other SSRIs. Citalopram was FDA approved on July 17, 1998. Citalopram was branded under names such as Orapram and is the second most selective inhibitor. The newest SSRI is escitalopram, and it was approved on August 14, 2002. It is the most selective inhibitor and has brand names such as Esopram and Lexapro. All of the SSRIs have been great for treating a wide variety of disorders. This class of drugs has fewer adverse effects than previous antidepressants. However, there's still side effects. Common side effects include feeling anxious or shaky, feeling sick and having diarrhea or constipation, dizziness, and a loss of appetite.